Can you help with the housework? Work at the office and home? Despite being able to live thanks to me.
What? Able to live? What era are you from? I'm grateful to my husband, but I work all day doing housework and caregiving too. And yet.
Are you talking back? Write up divorce papers and get out.
I understand this is a threat. He thinks I won't leave him and abandon my mother-in-law. I've had enough. Everything I've built up has lost its balance and collapsed. To him, I'm nothing but a free maid. I refuse to spend the rest of my life taking care of such a man. My name is Alice. I am 52 years old. My only daughter got married and moved far away, and now I live with my husband and my mobility-impaired mother-in-law, just the three of us. As he ages, he's become increasingly arrogant lately. He bosses me around like a maid, telling me what to do. My mother-in-law has almost lost the use of one leg due to the after-effects of a stroke, and she needs assistance. Right now, I help her with bathing and using the toilet, but it's going to get harder and harder. It's not that I'm fed up, but I sigh sometimes. When will I ever have time for myself?
Alice?
Oh. What is it?
Can I ask you something?
She said with a sorry look. She was having trouble getting up the steps at the entrance. With a cane, she can move around inside the house, but the steps are dangerous. I don't want her to strain herself. Of course, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem. Before her mobility became limited, she was a hard worker, bustling around from morning till night. She's dependable and caring. She taught me everything about housework. Even though I'm slow and clumsy, she patiently taught me without a single complaint. So, it's not so much about repaying her, but it's only natural to want to help her when she's in trouble. However, last night I had to accompany her to the bathroom 3 times. Being in the throes of menopause, I sometimes have trouble sleeping, and once I'm awake, it's hard to fall asleep again, so I sometimes feel tired. When I casually mentioned it to my husband, he just responded with an indifferent "oh" and said, "Is that about your mother again? Don't you have anything else?"
If I talk about something, will it make things better? Then I'll do that.
I was astonished. That's not the point. Right, I want to install handrails at the entrance and in the bathroom for her.
Huh? No need for that. If you're there, it's unnecessary.
But
it costs money and it's in the way.
Doesn't he realize that he might need it himself someday? Seeing my dissatisfaction, he said, "If it's so difficult, why don't you ask a professional caregiver for help?" He's missing the point. I'm not complaining. Besides, we haven't received certification for caregiving yet.
Then get it.
Don't say it so easily. Besides, I can manage daily activities on my own for now.
Well, that's fine then.
That's not the point. He didn't used to be like this. Now, he's become so self-centered that there's no way he'd suddenly become considerate. There's no point in hoping. Doesn't he feel sorry for his parents when they're inconvenienced or in trouble? Before being a son, he should think about being a decent human being. 3 days later. What I feared has happened. My mother-in-law tripped and fell. She twisted her wrist while trying to break the fall, and now she's having trouble with everyday tasks. She can't change clothes or eat properly, so I'm taking care of her full-time. Even though I'm now tied up for more than twice the time as before, he doesn't lift a finger to help. He ignores the unwashed dishes and the pile of laundry. Even if it's just until her hand heals, I want him to help. But he has always taken a hands-off approach to household matters. Not just housework, but childcare too. He had no interest in our children's school events and, when I was sick, instead of taking care of me, he'd say things like, "Don't give it to me," and stay away. That's why he probably thinks he has nothing to do with caregiving for his parents. But if I collapse from exhaustion, he'll be in trouble too. I can imagine a house falling into disarray because of neglected chores. My mother-in-law would feel responsible and sad. Even if we get through this time, there might be something like this again. No, it's better to expect it. Neither she nor we will get any younger. For our future, we have to help each other and live together. So, I'd like you to help with the housework. I'm not asking you to suddenly start cooking meals, but maybe folding laundry or cleaning the bathroom.
Huh?
How about taking out the trash while you're out for a walk? Then? Even though it should be something he notices and does on his own, why do I have to bring it up so clumsily? Despite thinking that, I asked with a smile. At this point, even making breakfast for yourself, like preparing bread and coffee, would be fine. Just do what you can, little by little. I felt sad saying it. It felt like I was talking to a child. Well, if this reduces my burden even a little, then it's a win. He looked dissatisfied. What's bothering him so much? What more can I say to make him understand? Just as I was thinking that, he said something unbelievable.
Are you kidding me?
Huh? I'm not kidding. Don't you understand the situation?
You're asking me, the one who earns money for us, to help with housework? You're a housewife, yet you're being selfish.
Selfish? That's outrageous. Were you even listening? He dramatically put his head in his hands and sighed deeply.
You want me to work both at the office and home?
I didn't say it like that.
You're like a demon wife, despite being able to live thanks to me.
His harsh words made her feel frustrated. To think he sees the position of a housewife as inferior. What era does he think he's living in? I appreciate that you work. But I work all day too.
Huh, you're so full of yourself. Do you think there's any value in the housework and caregiving you do?
I do. Because I do those things, you're able to go to work, right?
Husband, haha. Anyone can do that, right? If you were a professional, maybe, but you're just an amateur.
Huh?
If you're still going to talk back, then write up divorce papers and get out.
I couldn't find the words. Even though I was angry, some things should and shouldn't be said. Seeing I was shocked, the husband smirked. It seemed like he didn't mean it seriously. He's just threatening the housewife. And he knows I would never abandon my mother-in-law. Anger began to boil up. Fine, understood. I'll do as you wish. Something inside me broke. Everything I had built up lost its balance and collapsed. It seems I've reached my limit. I want a divorce.
What?
I'll be returning to my parents' house.
What did you say? Hey, I won't allow it. Apologize first.
He shouted angrily, but I calmly replied. There's no need to apologize, right? You told me to leave.
Are you going to abandon your mother?
Why don't you ask a professional instead of an amateur like me? Isn't that what you said?
You may be free, but professionals cost money, you know.
As I suspected, to him, I'm just a free housekeeper. My feelings were rapidly fading. You can do it. After all, It's something anyone can do, right?
No, I mean, well,
You have no compassion, no gratitude. Who do you think you are? Stop being so arrogant.
huh? What's gotten into you? Don't say such things to me.
He asked with a puzzled look, but she didn't respond. I won't spend the rest of my life taking care of such a man. I packed my things and left the house. It's a 2-hour drive to my parents' house. As I started driving, I soon calmed down and began to worry about my mother-in-law. Will she be okay without me? Will she try to do too much with her immobile legs? She had planned to give me a dedicated cell phone to stay in touch directly. But my husband said,
It's a waste of money.
"What a stingy man." He might not abandon his parents, but if something were to happen, he'd regret it. However, if I was to return home half-heartedly, I would only repeat the same mistakes. After being together for so many years, he thinks she'll come back soon because he knows my personality. I could picture his triumphant face. It's frustrating, it makes me angry. I parked the car at a convenience store and was pondering what to do when my phone rang. Hello? It was a call from someone I see every day. The content of the conversation was surprising, but I didn't need time to think. I understand, I'll be there soon, please wait. There's no need to agonize anymore. Well, shall we make him regret it greatly? A few hours later. I put on my favorite apron and started cooking in the familiar kitchen as usual. In the living room, my mother-in-law was watching the evening news as usual. My husband, coming out of his room, noticed me and shouted,
Hey, what are you doing?
"What does it look like?" "I'm cooking. I'm making dinner for your mom," I replied calmly.
Huh, so, you're back after all. Just a few hours of leaving the house, huh? Have you repented? Did you miss me?
I continued cooking silently.
Since we're divorced, you're a stranger now. It would be appropriate for you to bow down to me before coming back.
Frustrated by my lack of response, he grabbed my shoulder and asked,
Are you even listening?
I replied sarcastically. If you lay hands on a stranger, it's assault, you know?
Then you're trespassing.
I'm working.
Working?
Yes, I've been asked by her to come and do household and caregiving work.
Huh? What do you mean, Mom?
She spoke up.
I called Alice and asked her to help.
Why are you doing things on your own? She's already a stranger.
What are you talking about? You were all shaken up when she left.
Wait, what?
He stammered with a red face. She smirked.
Since I asked someone else to take care of the house, we need to pay them properly.
Huh? Pay?
Why is he so surprised? It's his fault. After I left the house earlier, he said,
I won't pamper you. You should consider it as rehabilitation. Otherwise, you'll end up bedridden.
A declaration of doing nothing for her. As expected, there's no way he'd hire a professional caregiver. And to top it off,
I'm tired.
and he locked himself in his room. She quickly decided to give up on him. A wise decision. She called me and said,
I don't want to meddle in marital issues, and I won't oppose the divorce.
She calmly spoke without blaming me for leaving.
But I'm upset with his arrogant attitude and lack of effort.
Well,
Alice, would you help me?
with what?
I'm thinking of giving her a taste of her own medicine.
Meaning you want him to reflect. Right?
Exactly. Let's make him reflect.
She had become quiet since her leg injury and seemed lively for the first time in a while. Maybe she had been storing up energy.
You've been patient with his complaints for so long. Aren't you also fed up?
Indeed, I am.
Isn't it never too late to leave after getting back at him?
And so, I was asked to take on household and caregiving tasks as a job. For as long as she desires. The payment is all of her savings. He trembled with fear.
You're kidding? This is extortion.
Oh, it's the amount I suggested.
And she said, nodding. I nodded in agreement.
Mom, she's a coward who left without a word.
Huh? Who is he talking about? Is he talking about himself?
I absolutely won't pay her. Well, since I have no job, I'm leaving.
She hurriedly tried to stop him.
That's a problem. Then who will do it for us?
He'll do it. It's pathetic that he can't even say that. Of course, what can he do in this house? Eat the meals prepared for him, bathe in the prepared bath, lie down, and complain. Is there anything else? She glared at him.
Regardless of what you say, I'll have Alice take care of me. Since I've already handed over my savings as payment, she's free to use them as she pleases.
That's great. First, let's buy a cell phone for her and install handrails throughout the house. I also want a caregiving bed that she's been longing for.
No. That's my money.
He said firmly. She frowned.
What did you say? Say it again.
Don't waste my money, even if it'll cost me.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She seemed speechless with amazement.
What's with that look? I'm just telling the truth.
Is her savings his own? It's ridiculous to hear him speak like a king. Whose house does he think this is? It's your parents' house. Despite abandoning the care of his mother, he says, my money?
My money is being wasted, you say.
She spoke in a low voice I had never heard before.
I understand now. I've been patient because I didn't want to become a nagging old woman, but I've made up my mind. I'll say what I want to say clearly.
Huh? Mom?
This useless person.
Huh?
You're nothing but arrogant. You don't appreciate your family and think you can get everything your way.
It's embarrassing to be yelled at by his mom at this age and be in a panic.
Since when did you become such a person?
Calm down, Mom. I haven't changed.
You may have long since forgotten, but I haven't.
What?
When I was in trouble with his abusive dad, didn't you always protect and help me? I was happy, thinking that was the real you. Or was that just an act for inheritance?
My father-in-law, who passed away 10 years ago, was an awful tyrant. He was stubborn and selfish. My husband says he doesn't even know how many times he was unreasonably slapped. When he was young, he even used violence against his mom and caused chaos inside the house. It's chilling to imagine being in a position to clean up after that. Since I got married, I've been insulted countless times with words like slowpoke and good for nothing. Despite hating his mom, he always stood up for us. He was kind back then. His dad was even stingier than him and declared that his dad would take his wealth to the grave. I thought it was a joke, but his dad left behind a will that sounded more like a slander, saying, I won't give a single penny to my son because I don't like his defiant attitude. My husband, infuriated by having his pride as the eldest son and his patience trampled upon, of course, had the right to claim his legal share of the inheritance. However, It seemed odd to demand it from his mom in the same household. So, I comforted him by saying, "You're the one inheriting assets under your mother's name. It doesn't have to be now." That seemed to settle it at the time. I never expected him, who despised his dad, to take on his role. I thought he just wanted authority as the head of the household for a while, but he seemed to have settled into the role comfortably. Or perhaps, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I know you're a kind son. Are you really satisfied with losing Alice, leaving me bedridden?
Seeing her distressed face, he looked shaken and sought help from me with his eyes, but I remained firm. Now is the chance for him to change his ways.
Mom, please forgive me.
She quietly nodded. I'm glad. You truly are a kind son, unlike your father. Then she glanced briefly at me.
Alice. I'm sorry.
I was surprised by his sincere apology. Does she have some sort of mind control power? It was shocking to hear about divorce. You shouldn't say such things when you think about your family.
I regret it. I'm glad you came back.
Don't say it again.
Okay.
I thought if anyone were to say it, it would be me, but I decided not to say it. He later made promises to us. He agreed to take on some household chores and actively participate in caring for her. Despite his discontent, I did get him to commit to it.
If you break your promise, you'll have to leave.
Huh? I leave?
Yes, and I won't give you a thing when that happens.
Got it. I'll keep my promise.
He seemed genuinely repentant as his mom scolded him, returning to his old self. While I was relieved that he seemed to have returned to his senses, it didn't last long.
Well, it's not a big deal if I get the inheritance.
He muttered softly. I didn't miss that. Perhaps he couldn't change so quickly. Well, for now, it's okay. He doesn't know. He probably won't know for years to come. I'll pretend to be surprised when he finds out the truth. And then, I'll enjoy his genuine repentance. I'm looking forward to it. Since she protected and kept hidden her savings, which I received as compensation, his expected inheritance won't materialize. We'll have to live modestly. Now that we've made a promise, I want him to put effort into helping the family. He said it's something anyone can do. He'll probably master household chores and caregiving soon. Learning new things when he's older is tough, especially if it's something he's never been interested in before. But he wasn't useless. He just tended to make extra messes. He broke dishes, spilled shampoo refills, and made countless small mistakes. The other day, he sparked the microwave and sulked because he was scared to use it anymore. What a nuisance. Finally, he admitted he lacked talent and offered to resign. Hearing that, I said, Your father also wasn't one to keep promises.
Don't compare me to him.
Bringing up his father makes him easier to manage. It's also tough for the teacher. You need to learn quickly or it'll be a problem.
Alright, I get it.
Don't think he can get away with it. It's pathetic to give up after just a few days. How many years does he think I've been doing this? Keep trying harder. We renovated our home, installing handrails and refurbishing the floors to eliminate steps and ensure wheelchair access. My mother-in-law, use it meaningfully. So we paid for it with the compensation she gave me. My husband initially objected, but he finally understood the importance of making caregiving easier. Having handrails makes caregiving easier too, he realized.
Should we also renovate the bathroom? And wouldn't an electric bed be convenient?
In that case, I'll make him pay for the next one. He probably won't complain anymore. Now, he suddenly wants to cancel the divorce. That's a problem. Because I haven't even filed for divorce. We can't cancel something that hasn't happened. And neither of us has even written anything. I thought it was obvious that the divorce hadn't happened, but it seems my leaving caused him some memory confusion. To him, my current position is like a live-in employee. But I won't tell him. It's more convenient that way. If I return to the position of a wife, he might treat me harshly. And if he treats me like a maid or property again, I won't forgive him this time. I still don't fully trust him. Besides, if we were divorced, wouldn't it be a problem if something happened? I'm not giving up my responsibilities and rights. I won't abandon my family. For now, he is like an apprentice. He's still learning household chores and caregiving. I'm the boss. He functions better when I handle things. It'll be a while, but I'll tell him when he acknowledges me. It depends on his efforts. How did you like this story? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Well then, let's meet again in the next video.